Today we are going to work on version control. Very important one. What exactly this version control is? What is version control? This is very good. What exactly is it used? Okay, definition is fine. What exactly it does? What are the advantages of that? Version control. This is also called as a source code. Source code management. Code. That means developers create some code that can be managed with. That is source code management or version control. Just to give you an example, it has so many features, so many advantages. Just to give you an example, for example, I wanted to develop a Pulse application. I want to develop Pulse application. We have student login, admin login, student features are separate, admin features are separate. Now, imagine if I hire a person to develop this Pulse application. Now, I wanted to calculate how many days it takes. So now we will identify all the features of the application and every feature login screen creation, 5 hours, sign up screen creation, 10 hours, navigation between the screens, 5 hours. Like that, I have calculated everything into number of hours, for example. Right? It will be like it will be around 800 hours, for example. It will be around 800 hours, like login screen, logout screen, sign up screen, navigation, tasks, submitting tasks, creating tasks, reviewing tasks, attendance. So many things we have calculated everything. It will be approximately about 800 hours. How many hours an employee per work per day? 8 hours per day. That means 100 working days. 100 working need. How many working days per month? Saturday, Sunday holiday normally software is 22 working days. So make it 20 for easy calculation. Okay, 2 holidays, either your holiday or public holidays, 20 working days. So one person has to work 20 days per month into 5, total 100 working days. That means we need 5 months time to finish it. We need 5 months time, but I don't want it so much time. I want it much faster. What I have to do? Instead of one person, assign it to 2 people. That means if it is one person, it is taking 100 days. If it is 2 persons, 50 days. If it is 4 people, 25 days. 50 days also I cannot wait. 25 days also I cannot wait. If it is 8 people, 12 and a half days, make it 12 days for example. Even 12 days means almost 2 weeks. I cannot wait 2 weeks also. I want just like that. Then situation demands, normally A vaccine takes 15 to 16 years to release it to public. How much time corona vaccine took? 6 months. Hardly 1 year, not even 1 year actually. Situation demanded. Exactly like that. So I'll assign 16 people. Then 6 days. I think 1 week I can manage. So now what I got, I want the project to be developed so fast. Now the way we are constructing, you don't see any difference here, but along with the borders, India-China borders, India is constructing roads in a super fast way. 3,000 kilometers, 4,000 kilometers, 5,000 kilometers, they are constructing the roads. Throughout India, 5,000, 6,000. But only in the borders, they are creating around 5,000, 6,000 kilometers, not meters, kilometers. They are creating it so fast. How come they can do it so fast? They are putting more number of people. Exactly the same thing. Now, you might have seen it. India corona vaccine per day, 1 crore people used to get vaccinated. 1 crore, sometimes 2 crores also. So what India wants then, everyone should get vaccinated so fast. 2 crore vaccinations per day means, just imagine how much logistics, how much staff. There are not enough medical team. So they have trained so many people how to give injection. So in 3-4 months time, vaccination is almost done. Exactly the same way. Now I want the software to be much faster. One person 5 months, 100 days. 2 persons 50. 4 persons 25. 8 persons 12 days. 16 persons 6 days. Okay, I'll request them to work on Saturday and Sunday. We can finish it in 1 month. Now I want these 16 people to work on the project. Perfectly fine. We have taken 16 people. What's next? Assign the work. Now what actually project manager does? The project manager takes that 16 people and assigns the workload. You work on this login screen, you work on sign up screen, you work on server communication, you work on form validation, you work on navigation. Like that, they will be assigning it. So everyone starts working on it in the morning. So what they will do, everyone creates a React project. Everyone will start working on it. Okay. Now, what the PM has to do? After 6 days, he has to see the product, or every day he has to check it. Every day he has to check it. Now, morning he has assigned the work. In the evening, he wanted to check his work. Checks what's the work. How does he check it? If he goes to system 1, only a part of the work he can see. System 2, a part of the work. System 3, a part of the work only he can see. Now, what he has to do, he wanted to check the whole work. So, he has to collect all the projects and convert that 16 projects into a single project and run. That has to be done. Understanding? That means 16 app.js will be there. 16 app.js. If components are created, so many components. Converting, like taking all the 16 projects and making it a single project, how much time it takes? 5 minutes? Half an hour? Even half an hour also, it's almost impossible. It takes minimum 4 to 5 hours. Why 4 to 5 hours? Even a small space extra gone. Won't work. Yes or no? So per day he has to spend 4 to 5 hours on merging the code into single project. Okay, he has spent that 5 hours per day and he has seen that out. Now the latest code should be with everyone again. Now I have worked on login screen. Harshini has worked on sign-up screen. Radha has worked on navigation. Now everyone's code should be into my system, everyone's system. Yes, sir. Again, everyone will start working on it again in the evening. It will be much more different. Now code has increased. In 4 to 5 hours, we cannot do that. You need extra 1 or 2 hours extra. Third day code has increased much more. You have to merge more. These are the problems. If 16 people, 4 to 5 hours it is taking, just imagine very large projects, 500 people, 600 people per team. Then imagine the situation. These are complicated. Complicated. This is the problem. These problems can be solved using source code management or version control. Both are same. Understanding? Using version control or source code management, these kind of problems can be solved. This is one of the examples I am giving. Source code management or version control can do much more than that. Understanding? People are literally using this a lot, particularly after Corona. In before Corona, everyone used to work on office from office only. No problem. But after Corona, everyone will be in different places. Understanding? Now they have to merge each and everyone's code into single now. Then people use this version control. Understanding? Now let us see it. What is version control, also known as source control, is the practice of tracking and managing changes to software code. Whatever the code you are doing changes, that can be tracked. So version controller merges the code also. Now 16 people are working on the code. All the 16 people's code also can be merged. That is one of the features. And not only that, it can track the code also. Track and managing the changes to the software code. In software engineering, version controller is a class of systems responsible for managing changes to computer programs, documents, large websites, or other types of information. Version control is just a component of software configuration management. See. Let us see. What is version control? How version control helps high performing development in the DevOps teams process. Version control is also known as the source control. It is the practice of tracking and managing changes to software. Version control systems are software tools that help software teams manage changes to the source code over time. As development environments have accelerated, version control systems help software teams to work faster and smarter. The number of teams are increasing, team members. Code also will be increased. Now, code has to merge automatically. It becomes difficult. But if you use version controller, merging will be done automatically. That's why they said that software teams work faster and smarter. Understanding? Version control software keeps track of every modification to the code in a special kind of database. If a mistake is made, developers can turn back the clock and compare earlier versions of the code. That means you have written some code today. Tomorrow something is wrong, something is not working. You can go back to the previous version and see it. So many advantages are there. We'll be working on that actually. So version controllers are helpful to handle the software code effectively, efficiently, to increase the speed of the development and managing effectively. Understanding? And this version control has so many concepts in it. Version control control has so many concepts in it. One is tracking. Whatever the changes you do, that will be tracked. And there is merging, and then there is in a way it will maintain separate versions. It supports parallel development. Parallel development means multiple people can work on the same file at the same time. Multiple people. Not normally, if I have MS Word file, only I can work. No one else can work. But if it is Google Doc, multiple people can work on the same, right? Exactly the same. Parallel development. If I create a file, now I have a project, only one app.js. Then multiple people can work on the same app.js. That's called parallel development. And there are so many version controllers out there in the market, like VSs, SVCs, EDCs, SPM, SPM, Git. Likewise, so many types of version controllers are there. So many version controllers, and we are going to focus on this. It is also one of the version controllers. Right? If I say I can compare like this, version control I can compare with bike. Version control I can compare with bike. Royal Enfield, Bajaj, Vespa, Hero, Honda. These are the companies with different brands. Exactly the same. Right? There are so many version controllers out there in the market. Now we are going to focus on this kit. Who created this kit? Linus Torvalds. We heard about this guy, Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds is the one who created Linux operating system. We have so many operating systems out there in the market. Windows, many people use it. Macintosh, many people use it. Linux, many people use it. Windows, Macintosh, and Linux will be working on it. But Windows is a paid operating system. Windows is a paid operating system. Macintosh also paid operating system. But what this Linus Torvalds, this guy has created this Linux operating system, but he doesn't want it to be paid. He wants it to be freely available to public. So that's what his intention is. So what he has done, he has started working on the Linux operating system. And Linux means Linux operating system means it's software only, but it's a very big software. Operating system means it is software, but it's a very big software. Very big software. Now, if the software is too big, developing by one person takes lots of time. Developing by one person takes lot of time. You might have heard about it. If I wanted to construct a road, how much time it takes normally? Normally, if a road to be constructed, how much time it takes? Normally, if you see your new road, suddenly sometimes you find new road, how much time it takes? Overnight, people are doing it. That means people are using heavy machinery, number of people and everything. Overnight, road is coming. But you might have heard about it. There is a person called Manzi. This guy took almost 22 years to construct a road. Why? Single person. He has faced some problems in his life, and he wanted to create a road, so no one else will face the problem. You might have heard about this story. Manzi idea. A movie is also released. I don't know the exact movie name. Probably his wife was ill, and he was unable to take to the hospital on time. Because of that, she died. Why he was unable to take that to hospital on time? Because he has to go through the longest route. He has to cross the mountain. A small mountain he has to cross, but there is a long route to cross that. So he has used a long route. So time is over. So for that, what he has done, he has just with one chisel, he constructed, he cleared the mountain. Basically. So the time has reduced to overcome that. It took almost 22 years for him. If multiple people work on that project, probably in 6 months time or 1 month time also can be clear. Exactly the same thing. Now, Linus Torvalds wanted to create the operating system, but it is too big to create by one person. He wanted to take help of so many people. So what he has done, if multiple people starts working on the project, it becomes difficult for him to handle the code. Yes, sir. So that's why he has created this Git. What he has done, he has created Git for his own purpose, and using Git, he has started giving it to multiple coders who can do free service. Around 2 lakh people joined with him in supporting of developing the operating system. Supporting of developing the operating system. Now 2 lakh people write the code. Merging into single code base is very difficult actually. Because he has taken this version control, merging will be done automatically. That is one of the features of version control. Understanding? Not only that, if 2 lakh people started writing the code, he wanted to check who has written the certain piece of code. So tracking also possible. So who has written the code, when they have written the code, everything also can be trackable. And it supports parallel development. That means 2 lakh people can work on the same project at a time. Because of these things, he has created this Git and he has given it to public for free, like Linux, and it became so popular. It became so popular. It's like React is something created by Facebook for their websites actually. They have given it to public for free. Exactly the same thing. There are so many version controllers are there. Git is popular. It is popular. So now we are going to use Git. Understanding what I'm saying? Clear? If we use this version control, any version control, but we are working on Git, if we use this version control, whatever the changes you do, trackable. Who created it, when they have created it, what they have created. Trackable, and you can go to the previous versions. That means what? Today you are working, 10 days back what you have written, 15 days back what you have written. That versions you can handle it. And if you wanted to merge with someone else's code, yes, it can be merged. So many advantages are there. That's why we are going to use version control or Git. Now to use Git, you have to install the software. You have to install the software. Which software you have to use? I'll type. There is a website called Git -scm. -scm. Git is a free and open source distributed version control system designed to handle everything from small to very large projects with speed and efficiency. Now, if you go to this Git website, you can download it. Here, you go to download. Mac, Windows, Linux, whichever you want, download it and use it. Download it and use it. Now, what is the latest version? 2.39.0 is the latest version. They have released in 12/12/2022. 2022. Now you have to install this. It is already installed in my system. So let me check it. I just created folder called It's a git space hyphen version 2.38.1. The latest version I have. That means almost latest only. Understanding what I'm saying? If I want, I can install this also. Say download. I have to use this. In Windows, it will show Windows command. Okay, if I install it, it will take more time because Homebrew is something, you know, we have npm for installing packages for React projects, right? Like for Mac, Homebrew is there. Homebrew. That is for Macintosh, but anyway, that's a different thing. Now, version controller is there in my system, so I can start working on it. So version controller has so many concepts. Like it can do tracking, it can do merging, it can do version, you can handle versions, parallel development, all those things. Now we'll be focusing on this first. We'll be focusing on this tracking part. Okay. Now let us see what is a folder. Collection of files. A folder can have multiple files, right? And in version controller also we have something called folder. This folder is called as a repository. What? Repository. Like folder, it can also hold multiple files, but there is a difference. What is that? Whatever the files you have in folders, you do whatever the changes you want. Is it trackable? No, not trackable. Maximum thing you can see is a last updated time or modified time. That's it. But whatever the changes you do in a repository is trackable. That means who modified it, when they have modified it, what they have modified it. All these things are trackable. Understanding? So, folder, repository. Technically speaking, both are folders only. But a folder is a normal folder. What are the changes you do cannot be tracked. But a repository is a normal folder with extra features. What are those extra features? What are the changes you do? It can be tracked. What are the changes you do? It can be tracked. So now what we can do? We have already installed Git. So I can convert a normal folder into a repository. I can convert a normal folder into a repository. Simply speaking, converting a normal folder into repository means we are making a folder trackable. That's simply speaking. Repository means folder with trackable. Folder means just folder. A folder can hold multiple files. A repository also can hold multiple files. A folder cannot track changes. Repository can track changes. That's the difference. Now, how to convert a normal folder? How to convert a normal folder to repository? What is the difference between folder and repository? Trackable, not trackable. See, folder is like a room. Repository is also a room, but with CCTV. What is the advantage of CCTV? Trackable. Who is coming, who is going, everything is trackable. Recorded. Exactly the same. Now, what we wanted to do, we wanted to convert a normal folder into a trackable folder. Trackable folder is called as repository. And how do I do that? Now, what I'll do, I'll come here. I'll create a normal folder. Which one? I have created a folder called normal folder, CD. Now we are into Git1 folder. This is a normal folder. Now I want this to be a trackable folder. I want this to be a trackable folder. To convert this normal folder to a trackable folder, there is a command git init. What? Git init. Whenever I say git init, this normal folder will be converted into trackable folder. Trackable folder is called as repository. Now I'll say enter. Now this git one is no more a normal folder. This is trackable folder called repository. Now if I come here, this is a repository. Are you able to see anything here? It's empty. Yes or no? But observe now. Are you able to see anything? This is actually hidden folder called git. Internally, what they are doing, they are creating a folder called .git. What exactly that folder is doing? That folder will be tracking whatever is happening within that folder. This git is like a CCTV, or this git is like your grandma. She might not speak, but she will be observing everything what is happening. When are you coming? When are you going? Are you eating or not eating? Sleeping or not sleeping? She will be observing everything, exactly the same thing. Or probably your neighbors, some neighbors in cities, it's a different story. But in villages or towns, in cities, your immediate next house, who is coming, who is going, you don't know. But in villages, who is coming now, who is coming, why are they coming, how many days they stay, when are they leaving, where are they going, why are they going, everything they'll come to. Exactly. This is like that git. Whatever the things you do will be tracking and storing. Now I wanted to know whether this git one is a repository or not. So first of all, how to convert a normal folder into a repository? Git init. Git init. This is the command, but you have to install git in your system, then only you can use it. Now I wanted to check whether a folder is a repository or not. There is another command called git status. What? Git status. If I use git status, then it will tell us whether it is a repository or not. Now what I will do, I will say git status. What is it saying? On branch master, no commits yet, nothing to commit. That means this is a repository. If it says on branch master or on branch main something, is a repository. Now observe what I am going to do. I am going to delete this folder. Now this is the trackable folder or normal folder? I think git status. What is it saying? Not fatal, not a git repository. Now this is no more a repository. That means this is not trackable. Got your point? So if you say git init, that means we are converting a normal folder to a trackable folder. Trackable folder is called as repository. And who tracks it? This git folder. There will be a git folder, which is not that we have deleted it, that tracks it. Now I am converting this into a repository. How do I convert it? Git init. My repository has been created. That means now, if I normally it will not show. I am just specifically showing you show hidden files. That's why it is showing. Understanding? It's like detective. Detective, he will ask, "Hi boss, what are you doing? I have to track you and note on all." Will he ask like that? Exactly the same. This is like a detective. It checks each and everything what is happening. Now, if I go inside this git folder, you will find so many files also. Are you able to see it? Again files, again folders. See. Whatever the changes you do, everything will be stored into this Git folder. All the changes you do. Understanding what I'm saying? Complicated? Clear? Now that's what they are saying here. You just go to the folder where you wanted to convert that into a repository. There are two folders. Git folder. Whichever you want repository, you do that. Now, if I want version controller folder as a repository, in version controller, I'll say Git in it. I want Git1 to be a repository. So I have entered into that Git1. I have made that as a repository. If you want version controller as a repository, you just say Git in it. There it will be created. Now, we are going to take 2 or 3 sessions on version control. The 2 or 3 sessions is 2 or 3 projects. That's why I have created separate folder called version. Got it? Whichever the folder you want, you go to that folder. Then say Git in it. That will be converted into a repository. Understanding what I'm saying? Clear? Okay. Next, how many commands we have learned? 2 commands we have learned. And one more important command. Whatever the changes you are doing, it will be tracking. It will be tracking. But while tracking, you have to tell your name. Then only it will store record. That means, for example, I will be going to this Git folder directly. That means Git1. I am directly going to Git folder. Now I am creating a file called index.html. Index.html I am creating it. I am not creating React project, I am just creating a simple plane. Now here I wanted to type some basic stuff. Type basic stuff I have created. Now I have created this. Now what I have to do, I come here. Now I will try Git status. Earlier we have tried Git status. First it said that is not a repository. Then I have said Git init. Then Git hidden folder is created. Then it is saying it is a repository. Now I have created a new file. After creating a new file, I say Git status. Let's say what I am able to see untracked files are there. Untracked files. That means index.html we have created it, but it is not trackable yet. It is not trackable. You have to tell, please track it. Won't track it blindly. You have to tell, please track these files. Please track these files. How to track it? What I have to do? I'll say git add space index.html. Git space add index.html. That means we are adding it to the Git, so it will start tracking. Now are able to see you here? You means untracked. See, it's showing untracked. Are able to see? You means untracked. This is not tracking. You have to tell what files to be tracked. Now I'll say git add index.html. I'll say enter. Now it will start tracking. Now are you able to see A here? Now it is showing. It is saying it started adding it to track. Adding it to track. Okay, it will start tracking it. Then once it's a git add, Then I'll say git commit. What? Git commit. Git commit. Commit means we are telling whatever the changes we have done. Update the database. It is creating a folder called git, right? Internally. Inside that git folder, a database will be there. All the changes you are doing will be updating in that. Git commit is nothing but you are telling to the repository, please note down these changes. Please note down these changes. That's the git commit -m, that means message created new index.html file. Enter. Now observe here, one file changed. 12 instructions create mode. That means whatever the changes we have done, everything is updated into the repository. Now we are learning new commands. Git init we have learned, git status we have learned, then git add file name basically. That means add this file for tracking. It's one-time activity actually, but again multiple times you have to use it. Let me tell you. First time it is a untracked file. It starts tracking it. Then git commit -m, the message you wanted to be committed. Committing means updated. Understanding? Now what I will do here, we have learned 1, 2, 3, 4 command. There is one more command is there, git log. Git log means whatever the changes has done, everything it will start showing. Now what I will do, I will simply say git log. Now see, have you observed here? These are the changes. Who changed it? Manjunath P has changed it. What is his email ID? manjunath@gmail.com. When he has changed Monday on Jan 9 by 3:36:51. What is the changes he has done? Created a new index. Understanding what I'm saying? So I have created a folder, converted that into repository, then created a new file, added that into repository for tracking. After done the changes, you say commit. Commit means updating. We are telling to the repository, please note down these changes. Please note down these changes. You know. Come again.
All these changes will be saved after you have created that different person format before file folder. There will it is not here.
It's the same folder only. You are into that folder only. Now I have closed it, opened only this folder. You are into that git one folder only. Not different folder, same folder. I have opened only that now. So you don't see that version control, no confusion. Understanding what I am saying? Complicated. Now let me try again. Now see, now I will create one more file. Style.css. I have created this style.css. What is it saying? You means what? Untrackable. This file is not trackable. This file is not trackable. How to make it trackable? Git add file name style.css. Before I do this, what I will do is say git status. Are able to see on branch master untracked files. Actually, two files are there. Style.css is one thing, and ds_store is one other thing. That is actually system file, which we don't need it actually. We don't need to track that system file, but we wanted to track this file. So what I will do, I'll say git add file.css. Enter. That means we are telling, please start track this file. Now A means added for tracking. Then I'll say git commit -m created license file. Enter. Now updated the git. Means what are the changes we have done? Updated it. Now observe here. I'll say git log. Are able to see that whatever the repository changes we have done, it is showing. Actually, how many times we have committed? 2 times we have committed. One for index.html, one for style.css. But it is showing full detail. That's why it is unable to show all. Now, what I will do? For our better understanding, I'll say git log. That means it will start showing. I'll just space -, one line. That means that log, whichever I am seeing, I don't want lengthy. I want only single line. I'll say enter. Now, are you able to see? 2 commits. One is created the new index.html and there is created the CSS file. 2 commits means I told to the repository to take note of the changes. Take note of the, that's what commit means. Understanding tracking or not? It is tracking who has done the changes, when they have done the changes. Okay. Now what I will do? Index file we have created, CSS file we have created, but this CSS I wanted to add it into index.html. Let me change the CSS file again. The body, background color, orange color. I have done some changes to the CSS file. What is it showing? M means modified. Already added, started tracking. First it will show, whenever you create a new file, it will show it as U. U means untracked. Then add it. Then it will start tracking. It will show A. That means it started tracking. Then commit it. Commit it means note down the changes. Then after that, if you have started doing some changes, it will say M. M means it's already tracking. Now you have modified something. Modified means what? It is already noted down the changes in repository earlier. After that, something has changed. It is not as per what you have changed earlier. Something has changed, that is showing modified. Now I am coming to index.html. Even in index.html also, I link it. Now here also it will show M. M means modified. M means modified. Now what I wanted to do, what are the changes I have done? I wanted to tell to the repository to take a note. That means I have to do commit. Whenever I say commit, before commit I have to add it. I'll say git add. Now how many files I have to add? 2 files. Index.html and cell. Both has changed. Both I have to add it. Those things will be committed. So either add to give name, give 2 names, or you simply give add space dot. Dot means whatever the new files, whatever the modified files, everything will be added into repository. Then git commit -m linked CSS with HTML. Now I have added these 2 files. That means these 2 changes will be noted down into repository. Got your point? Now what I will do, I will say git log. If I say git log, now see the latest only it is showing. Who has done the changes? Manjunath. Email Manjunath P. When by Jan 9, 3:45, 14. Link is CSS with it. But remaining logs are not showing because of the space availability. So I'm just pressing Q. It is normal, it is coming. I'll say git log space -, 1 line. commits. First commit is new index.html. Second commit is created CSS file. Third commit is link CSS. Understanding? So the process is like this. First, you create a normal folder. What are the changes you do in normal folder cannot be tracked. The highest thing that can be done is who modified, last modified, created something. Now I want the folder to be trackable. So for that, what I have to do, I have to convert a normal folder into a repository. How to convert a normal folder into a repository? Git init. Whenever I say git init, of course you have to use git command. You have to install git. So after installing, you just say git init. Now that normal folder becomes a trackable folder. Normal folder becomes a trackable folder. How it tracks actually? Internally, they are creating a hidden folder. What are the changes you are doing? They are storing into that. That hidden folder has a database internally. Database can store multiple data. Understanding? So, we are creating a normal folder, then we are converting that into a repository. After converting that into a repository, you have to tell what are the files to be updated into the repository. So, we said git add, either you give specific file name or you just say git add dot. Dot means whatever the new files, modified files, everything will be added. So, we can store it into the repository. Then after adding it, then you just say git commit -m the message. Then it will be stored, updated into the repository. Now you wanted to track the changes, you just give git log, what are the changes you have done, commits you have done, that will be shown. So steps are like this. First, create a folder, normal activity. Then convert this into repository. What is the command? Git init. Now that is a repository or not, you wanted to check how. Now repository or not. Check it, git status. Whenever you say git init, what actually happens? It internally creates a hidden folder and stores everything internally. Then after that, what we can do? Create new files. After creating new files, what you have to do? Add. We have something called staging. Add to staging. Git add means where it will be added. It will be added to staging. Once it is added to staging, then only you can commit. So we are saying git add, and either you give the file name or you just give dot. That means all the new files, modified files, everything will be added into staging. Whatever is added to staging, only those things will be updated to commit. So then now we are saying commit. Commit means we are updating the repository with whatever the changes we have done. Whatever the changes we have done. See, it's like this. To give you an example, imagine you have a shop. You have a shop and you are selling goods to normal people. Grocery shop you have. For grocery shop, normal households will come, but business people also will come, like hotels, tea shops. Now, what tea shop guy wants, he will purchase tea packets from you. Hotels, they'll purchase oil packets, something like that. Understanding? So, for few people, you will be giving a credit, like hotels, tea shops, if there are anything there, they'll do lots of transactions. A repo will be built. That means, okay, he will be a known guy. Every day he will purchase 5 oil packets, then rubber packets, like that he will be purchasing it. Sometimes what happens, usually monthly payments will be there or weekly payments like that. Now, around 20 customers has taken credit from you. Evening you go for collection. That's what happens usually in shop. Evening you go to all these 20 customers, and few will pay, few will not pay. And once you collect all the money, and what you do, you will update in your book who has paid. Understanding exactly. Commit means updating the repository. What are the changes you have done? Understanding what I'm saying? Complicated? So what we have done, we have created a folder. Then using git init command, convert that into a normal folder to a repository. The difference between a normal folder and repository is a normal folder is non-trackable, a repository is trackable. Then once you start tracking, now you create new files. Whatever the files you create will not be trackable by default. You have to add that to staging. Then only it becomes trackable. So you just say git add either file name or simply git add dot. It will start all the files into staging. Then git commit. What are the changes you have done? Update the local network. Understanding what I am saying? So for this, to achieve this, we have learned multiple commands. First of all, git status we have learned whether it is a repository or not. Git init we have learned we are creating a repository if it is not a repository. Git add we have learned add that to staging. Whatever you have added to staging, only those things will be added into the computed into the repository. Then git commit. Commit means what? Updating the repository. Please note down the changes. Then git log we have. If you now you are creating a React folder, you are creating a project. The folder will be created. That is trackable or not trackable? Not trackable. If you create, if you convert that folder into a repository, then trackable. Got my point? Let us try that also. Understanding? But one important thing you have to understand here is now whatever the changes I have done, I am doing. If I say git commit, all the changes has been updated. Yes or no? Now it is noting down that Manjunatha has done this change by this time and all those things. So how come Git knows my name? How Git knows my name? We have to give our name. A system can be accessible by multiple people, multiple users might be there. So we have to give our name, we have to give our email ID, then it is put accordingly. Understanding what I'm saying? Now I'll be showing you a website where you will find lots of Git repositories. So there is a website called Git cheatsheet.org. In that Git cheat sheet, there is something called are able to search. You click on this search. They are saying 90 plus popular Git commits. Right? So I am clicking on search. They are showing so many repository Git commits. We have learned 5 or 6 hardly. Around 90 plus comments are there. Of course, not all are required. Now, first install the Git software. First go to Git SCL, then download the software, then install the software. Then you can start creating a repository. And you can start doing the changes, creating the files, doing the changes, add it to commit and staging and commit. Everything can be done. But it also has to note down who is doing the changes. Your name should be there. Your name should be there. That we have to specify it. There is a command for that actually. Set the username for the current repository. Git config space hyphen local user dot name. You give your name. That means it will note down your name. It will note down your name. So whenever you do the changes, that it will be stored that okay, this person has done the changes. Version control by default doesn't know your name. We have to give our name. So set the username for the current repository or set the name username for all repositories. You can set the name only for that repository or for all repositories. Which is better? All repositories. So use this command. Set the username for all repositories. Git config space hyphen global user dot name. You give your name. Then you specify your email address also. And particularly remember this email address should be your GitHub ID. If you don't have GitHub account, you just create your GitHub account, then configure. So git config hyphen global user dot email. Then who is doing the changes? Their name and their email ID will be stored. Now see, I am coming to this repository here. Now what I will do, I will say git log. Now see, it is saying Manjunath is doing the changes and Manjunath email ID. How come it knows my name and my email ID? I have given it. I have given it. Likewise, you have to give it. What is your name and what is your email ID? Sets the username for all repositories, sets the email ID for all. Understanding what I am saying? Confusion? Clear? So, repository is nothing but trackable. Repository is nothing but trackable folder. Who is doing the changes? What are they doing the changes? Everything will be tracked up. When it comes to who is doing the changes, that Git should know who are you, who is doing the changes. For that, we have to give our name. Don't give John Doe. Your name is John Doe. No, you give your name. You give your email ID. Then it will start tracking accordingly. Whenever you say git log, it will show who has done the changes. Understanding what I'm saying? Complicated? Now let us try one more time. Now I am creating one more folder. Now let me close this. And I am getting one more folder. Git 2. Then I just open it. Now, is this folder is a repository, not a repository? How do I know that? Its status perfect. U is untracked for file status. So now I wanted to check whether it is a folder or not. I say git status. Not yet. Now this is not a repository. That's what it is saying. Now I wanted to convert this into a repository. How do I do that? Git init. Now it has been converted into a repository. Now what I'll do? I'm just clearing the screen so you can use it. Hit the status. Now it is on branch mode. If it is a repository, it will say on branch master or branch pendulum, something like that. Otherwise, it will say got not a repository. Now we have created a normal folder into a repository. Now I can see a hidden Git folder. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a new file, index.html, then file.csv. I've created two files and I'll be writing some basic. I just something just heading I have given, and here in there the color folder. Why both are showing you untracked? So we have a repository, but that repository has untrackable files, untracked files. So now how do I do that? Git add space dot. These things will be added into staging. Whether untracked files or modified files, everything we have to add to staging before committing it. Now these files I have added to staging. You can see A means added. Now I'll say git commit -m. I'll say created index and file. Enter. Now our local repository has been updated with what are the changes I have done. Now nothing is showing. Now what I will do again, I will come here, I will just do some changes. I have done some changes. Now what is it showing? M. That means modified will come for trackable files. Earlier it was untracked, now trackable. Now what I will do, I will say git add dot. We are adding that modified styles to staging. Once it is added to staging, then commit it. Add it to staging. Then I will say git status, let us see. It's saying modified. Are you able to see? Modified. I will say git commit -m. Okay, let me clear it and type git commit -m and say linked css to index. Now if I say git status, what it says, on branch master, nothing to commit, working free clean. That means what are the changes you have done? All the changes are up to date in repository. Now I will come here. I'll write h1 color. Now it is saying modified. Now I'll see here. It's status. What it's saying? Modified. That means you have done some changes, but that is not updated in the repository. So I'll say git add it to staging, then git commit -m added h1 in css file. Understand? Now I'll say git log. You show the latest only one it is showing. I'm saying view is normal. I'm saying git log space -1 like 3 commits I have. Understanding? Clear? Now I'll tell you the beauty of this. Now the folder git2 is in my system. Only I can access that folder. Can you access it? You cannot access it. Imagine I have converted this folder into a shareable folder. Even you can access it. Now, if you are doing changes, even those changes also will be tracked. If I am doing changes from my system, it will note down it as the Manjunath is doing the changes. If Hanil is doing the changes, it will note down that Hanil is doing the changes. If Monica is doing changes, it will note down that Monica is doing the changes. So whoever is doing the changes, it will note down that. Whatever the changes you are doing, that will also it will note down. When are you doing the changes, that will also it will note down. Understanding what I am saying? Now see here, for Git, there is a extension called Git Lens. What? Git Lens. If you install the Git Lens, now see, are able to see you now uncommitted changes it is showing. Are able to see it? This Git Lens is something which will show you. Now see here, you 4 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago done the changes. That's what it is showing. It is showing automatically. We are into branch master. Are able to see it? Git status it's showing master, right? It's showing branch master. Git Lens, if you install it, you can see here. I'm not going in depth, just basic, just briefly I'm touching. Now I have done so many changes, so many commits are there. If I delete the Git folder, what happens? All the tracking will be gone, not files. All the trackings will be gone. Understanding what I'm saying? Clear? Now this is what is happening actually. Now right now the folder is in my system. The repository is in my system. If I create the repository, now how projects are working, we'll create that repository in internet. Right now the repository you have created in my local system. You create the repository in the internet, anywhere in the world you can access it, right? Everyone does the changes, and it will track. That's what the whole purpose of it. But we'll be working on gradually on this. Understanding? So repository is one of the features we have worked with. This version control has so many features. Repository is one thing we have worked on. What is repository? What is a repository? Trackable folder, simply speaking. How to create a repository? Git init. If you say Git init, that normal folder will become a repository. Then after that, add to staging, whether it is modified or unmodified, add to staging, then commit. Committing is nothing but we are telling to the version control, please note down the changes. Please note down the changes, whatever I have done. Understanding what I'm saying? Now, I have worked on this 1 week, but I haven't committed it. If I say commit, all these changes will be considered as only one change. If every day I am committing it, it will be considered as 7 changes. Frequent commit is recommended. Frequent commit doesn't mean you write one word and commit. You will go mad. Too many commits are not. Understanding what I am saying? Now I don't want this to be a repository. Then which folder? That's it. Now it is showing who has done the changes, what are the changes and everything. Now I come here and say delete. Now see status saying not a. Understanding? Right now this folder is accessible to me only. On my changes are there. If I put this folder in internet or repository in internet, multiple people can access it. All those things can be trackable through GitLab, who has done the changes, when they have done the changes and all. That also will be working right. Clear? I want you to try this. And have you ever created any repositories before? No. You haven't created any repositories. Let us see. This is the React folder. We have all these are React folder, React projects which we have created, right? Let us take anything. Let us take media, for example. I am just opening it. How do I know whether this is a repository or not? Git status. So I am coming to this React media folder, which is a React project which we have created through npx create React app. Now what I will do is say git status. What is it saying? You are creating repositories from long time on. Whenever you create a React project, they are creating a repository, but you don't know it. Why you don't know? We haven't covered it. You have very good experience in creating repositories unknowingly. Now they are clearly telling when we have done it. All these are the changes we have done it, but we haven't added. We haven't committed it. I say git add dot added to paging. Then git commit -m added few audio and video. Enter. Committed. Done. Now what I will do is git log -1 line. 2 commits. First commit, when it will happen, whenever you say npx create React app, they are creating a folder, they are creating the files, and at the same time, they are committing it also. They are committing it also. Whenever you say npx create React app, so many messages will be coming, right? In that, you can find creating a repository. Understanding what I am saying? Complicated? So, how many repositories you have created? So many. But today you are learning. It's like this, what is nose, how it works, what is oxygen. By the time you learn this, you are already using it. Yes or no? If you are not using it, how do you learn? Probably at the age of 4 or 5, you will be learning, okay, this is nose, this is oxygen, this is called breathing, something like that. By the time from past 5 years, you are doing that. Exactly the same thing. From the day we come to React, we are not only creating a React project, we are creating a repository also. But we have to focus on it. But it will tell you clearly when I have created it also. Like GitLog, if I go, it will tell now. We have created this project on November 26th by 12:39:50. Any React project you go, you will find it. Next time, whenever you are creating a React project, you just go through what is actually they are displaying the messages. One message you will be getting creating a repository. Like in committing also they are doing automatic. Creating the repository and the initial commit also they are doing it. Got it? Clear? I want you to try this. I have just covered only one of the features only. Merging I haven't covered. There is one more concept called branches I haven't covered. There is one more concept called remote repository I haven't covered. Likewise, so many other concepts are there. We'll be working on that. We take another 2 sessions. It will take 1 or 2 sessions. 2 sessions minimum. Okay. This one. You'll be understanding it in our next session called branches. Basically, that is commit ID. Whenever you commit it, whenever you create a transaction through your UPI or whatever it is, a transaction ID will be generated. Right? It's like commit ID. Every commit will be having a unique ID. You just save this URL getcheatsheet.org. There you go to search, and particularly you have to do this activity. Set the username for all repositories. Set the email address for all repositories. Very important. Okay. Otherwise, whatever the changes you do, you cannot note down who are doing the changes.